Okay, we're going to be talking about the Joan Nicole Prince House. And you're brand new, aren't you, Toni?
I am. I've been with the home for about 5 years now.
Okay.
So thank you for having me
Yeah,
back.
it's been a while
It
since
has-
you've been on. The organization
from
has been here.
2002, so
Yeah.
thank you for letting me represent the home
Right.
once again.
For people who don't know what the Joan Nicole Prince home is, we're going to let Toni explain the mission and the philosophy.
So
Take it away, Toni.
So the mission of the Joan Nicole Prince Home is to provide a safe and comfortable environment for those in need of a home during their final days. So we take residents in from the Capital Region who have a prognosis of 3 months or less, and we provide shelter for them. But on top of that, we provide them with meals, we give them their medication, and most importantly...
So I'm sorry, you give them, they have their medication available? Or,
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, so we're giving them their meals, their medication, and most of all, companionship and love. We treat our residents as if they were a member of our own family, and that's absolutely how we want them to feel when they enter our home. We allow them to bring in their own items, their own personal items, whether it be their favorite pillow or blanket.
Oh, nice.
Even
So it's a
furniture.
home-like. They're making it their home.
Absolutely. It's definitely a home-like setting. We have a beautiful interior in the home. The outside of the home
I have to stop over there.
Please
Yeah,
do.
I will.
The
Yeah.
outside is just as beautiful as the inside. We allow our residents to go outside if they want to. We have some wildlife. We'll put up bird feeders for them. We do welcome them to bring in their own hobbies. There's often times when, just recently I was doing a Where's Waldo book with one of my residents. She was 86 years old and we had a blast. She's laying in bed and we're looking for Waldo. We'll read
Did
with
you find
them.
him?
We found him. We'll read with them, we'll cook with them, do any activities that allow for them to handle, and we care for them at end of life.
Is there do you have a nurse on duty? Or?
We do not. We have caregivers on duty.
Okay.
And the real heart of our home is our resident care volunteers. And those volunteers they range in age from 18 all the way up. I have one that's about 85 years old,
Okay.
providing hands-on care for our residents. And that includes turning and positioning them, changing them if needed, but again, more companionship.
Right.
And being
And
a family.
cooking? Probably cooking.
And cooking,
Yeah.
and being a companion to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's well. Is this like a model, or are there others like this?
There are others like this. This model started out in the Rochester area of New York to try to keep people right within their communities. So we have served over
Rather than a hospital and being isolated.
Exactly. So we have served over 258 residents in the Capital Region since opening our doors.
Are really that many?
Yes, since 2006.
Wow.
Very proud to say that number, yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful that they feel comfortable. How many?
Absolutely.
How many clients? I don't know.
So
clients?
it's
I don't know what to call.
It's okay. We call them residents.
Residents.
It's a 2-bed facility.
Oh, just
so
2 beds.
So we're really getting that hands-on. They're getting, all the attention that they need. They're getting
Do they get
love.
to interact?
Absolutely. If they want to, the families have interacted. Sometimes you'll find them sitting in the family rooms together, getting to know each other. Sometimes, we're just sitting with them, holding their hand right at the bedside.
Yeah, yeah. So do you have like a waiting? I mean,
We
what
always-
happens? I can't even imagine doing 2 people and knowing that there's other people that want to be there.
Absolutely. So we say we take those with the greatest need and the least resources.
The least resources.
Absolutely. So
Because some people have lost, when they get to that age, they may have lost their children, they lost their spouse, they lost their, parents are gone.
Yep, so they don't have anyone to care for them, and that's where we step in. We do have a continuous wait list, and when a bed becomes available, we go out and screen them, and again, take those who we feel it needs the bed most.
Is there a cost?
That's the best part. It's free of charge.
Wow.
So our residents do not have to pay a dime to live there. But in return, that's where we depend on local community support.
And a
local
fundraiser.
And fundraisers.
Which is
local
what we're going to
grants.
talk about next.
Yep, local grants and national grants. So we
Oh, you do get grants as well, because
Yes.
you're nonprofit.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So we really need the community funding. And that could be a $20 bill, that could be a roll of toilet paper. All of that is so appreciated to run our home. So we are.
So what do you have, what needs do you have, say, I know money is always great, but is there anything that you need? Do you need somebody to bring a plant? I mean, what do you need?
Yes, money is always welcome.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. However, yes.
Because you got to pay for food.
We do have to pay for food. Plants are always welcome.
I just
Like
made
you
that
said,
up,
yes,
but it
plants,
worked
yes.
out, right?
Toilet paper, paper towels, any household needs like cleaning supplies, Clorox wipes, rubber gloves, things like that, all those types of things. We also accept what we call DME, durable medical equipment. So let's say, someone had lost a family member. We'll take their used walker. But then in return,
that's good to know.
we can donate it back to the community. Let's say someone had a hip replacement.
Yeah.
I need a walker. Do you have an extra? Absolutely. So it's give and take.
That's really good to know, because when that does happen, you don't know what to do with a lot of this.
Absolutely. And
you think, well, do I bring it to the Goodwill or do I bring it where? But this to me makes more sense.
Absolutely. Yep. So we have walkers, we have shower chairs, the rollator walkers. So we really, can share with the community members that need it.
Well, I know that someone that I had talked to, they had, I guess, a couple of things. And they couldn't give them away. They brought them to the dump, and I thought,
yeah,
that's such a
unfortunate.
shame.
Yeah. Yep. So
And
we'll
those
take,
things are expensive.
They sure are. And we'll take Ensure, we'll take diapers. The only thing we won't take is medicine.
Well, you can't do
can't,
that.
yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
do that. But no, that makes sense. So what? So do physicians come in and visit their patients? Or how do
So-
they get their care? Is what
Sure.
I mean,
So
medical care.
Our medical provider is hospice.
Oh, okay. So hospice is wonderful.
Absolutely. So
They
each of
are.
our
They're
residents,
absolutely phenomenal.
They're all on hospice service.
Okay, so they take care of everything.
They do. They will come in, assess them weekly, assess them as needed. They're surrogate families, so we'll communicate with the residents and the families and hospice and say, hey, you know what, maybe their medication needs to be increased, or things are changing, maybe we should change this type of care for them. And so we're the advocate for that resident.
Because you're with them all the time, so you can
Absolutely.
kind of see
Absolutely.
what's going
so
on.
Hospice will.
Toni, what's your
make change.
background?
Yeah, patient care. Really, it's all patient care. I've always loved taking care of people.
There you go, yeah.
And so my heart is in this home, and
Yeah.
I love what I do.
Yeah, I know Ed, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I know
He's
Ed.
a good friend of
Ed-
mine, and he loves you.
Oh, well, and he said to say hello today.
Yeah.
And he was actually just there yesterday doing some yard work. I'm already getting him outside.
Yeah.
Got to keep him busy.
He talks about it, and I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I haven't had them on the show." And that's when I reached out to you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, because of that.
Yep.
Because he just said he just thinks that what you do is phenomenal.
It is wonderful. So we're always seeking resident care volunteers, but we're also looking for volunteers who want to help out in other ways, like do yard work, maybe cook a meal, maybe cook a treat, some extra cookies to have for, the staff or the volunteers.
Oh, staff? Okay.
But we're always looking for volunteers to help out in different ways, maybe even be a extra set of hands. Maybe, just sit with them, read them a book, things like that.
Well, if you have like a Girl Scout troop that is looking for a project,
Absolutely. We
this
welcome-
might be something nice. They could make cards for them or for
Absolutely.
the residents, or they
Yes.
could make cookies or
Yes.
decorations.
Yeah.
Or
We actually have a rock garden that needs some TLC in the
there you
backyard.
go.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
They could get their badge for gardening,
Absolutely.
gardening badge.
Yeah. We welcome groups to come in to do yard work. We have college groups that come in, or even businesses like Key Bank or MVP has come in, CDPHP has come in to help us out.
A lot of corporations are encouraging their employees to take on a project of this, to
Absolutely.
reach out
Yeah.
to the community.
And we really embrace
We
it.
have
Yeah.
lost a lot of community involvement, and I think in a way, we get so caught up in our own lives that
We sure
we
do.
forget that there are people that need us.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So years ago during COVID, Habitat for Humanity actually came out. They painted the interior of our home.
Did they? Oh, they're great.
And
yeah.
I fell in love with painting, so in return...
Oh, there's Madeline there
I-
waving because she was
Oh, okay.
executive director of it. Yeah.
So in return, I painted a couple of their homes because I fell in love with painting. I fell in love with Habitat's mission.
Yeah.
And so you got to give back when you can.
Yeah, and there's so much in our community. We've talked about the thrift stores that are out there and that are raising money for their mission. And Habitat for Humanity, of course, has a restore where you can
Yes.
purchase gently used, which I bought a rocker there that's fabulous.
Probably
And I
brand
couldn't
new.
believe, I looked all over for one. I happened to walk in there. There it was, and it had my name right on it. You know?
Yeah.
So we have a lot of in our community that tries to give back. And Habitat is one, you mentioned them. But what you're doing is like a real hands-on.
We really are, yes.
So how many volunteers do you have, or how many more would you like?
So like Al said, I would like 4,000 as well.
Okay, well, let's see.
I do have about 50.
Oh, well,
I do
that's
have about
good.
50, yes.
Yeah.
And again, these people are all walks of life. I have college students who are going into the health profession, which is wonderful because
They're learning.
they're learning.
Yeah.
They're learning end-of-life
Hands-on.
care. They're learning how to hold a hand to someone who's dying.
It's not just passing out medication. right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I have people who are retired nurse practitioners. I have stay-at-home moms. So people with all different experiences we welcome to the home.
Okay, so Toni, you heard her here from Toni here. She's the executive director of the Joan Nicole Prince House. You can go to their website, which we've put up there. And we did have a picture of their home,
Yes.
which is just a beautiful place, and it's located in Scotia. Is
We
that
are
correct?
located in Scotia.
Yeah. Thank you so much
Thanks
for
for
being
having
here,
me.
and
Thank you.
keep up the good work.
Thank
and
you.
lots of love there.
Thank you. Thanks,
Yeah.
Ann.
Thank you.